Whoops. Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I'm doing today what for me is a very, potentially very exciting or very disappointing and very interesting tasting video, because I've finally managed to get hold of a fruit that I've never tasted before in my life and always wondered what it would actually be like. I've got a couple of seedlings and I'd like to grow the tree because I think for a subtropical they're going to be slightly more possible to keep healthy and get the fruit, possibly get small fruit in this country, provided you can keep them frost free in winter. This is a black sapote, also known as chocolate pudding fruit because of the very dark flesh inside. It looks like, basically when they're ripe, like a chocolate pudding dessert. I don't think they necessarily taste like chocolate. I think what tends to happen is the suggestion to the brain, the fact that it looks like a chocolate pudding, makes you think that it tastes like chocolate pudding. I've heard people say, oh yes, it tastes like chocolate pudding, but I'm dubious over that. It's quite a decent sized fruit. I have no idea if it was a name variety of a seedling. The fruit was very kindly sent to me by my friend Thomas, who went for a holiday and a short break to look at tropical plants in the Canary Islands and bought back 2 or 3 fruit, one of which he kindly sent to me. I've left it in the fruit bowl, so it's now got a sort of a softish wrinkled state to it, because you've only got one chance with this and it's not easy to know whether it's going to be ripe or not, but I'm obviously interested to see the inside. I don't know if they suffer from astringency. They are, of course, in the persimmon family. I think these are known as Diospyros nigra or Diospyros digina. I think they have 2 Latin names. I don't think there's any difference between them, but I'm going to cut it open and see what it looks like inside. They don't always look very appealing, to be honest. Not everybody likes soggy chocolate pudding, but let's cut it open and see what the inside is like. I have no idea if you've got an unripe one, if the flesh would be a different colour. It's interesting that the flesh is sort of a chocolate brown colour on these, because a lot of persimmons have black roots. Okay, well, this looks almost exactly what I expected it to look like inside. I hope you can see that. It doesn't seem to be moist. It seems quite powdery and dry in places. Now, I don't know if that's how they are, because I've never seen one in the flesh or tried one, and of course I've no idea if this one is typical or it's going to be worse or better, but it does look exactly like a chocolate pudding. So let's just taste this and see what I think. Is it going to be a massive disappointment, or is it going to be quite edible? Okay. Well, I would say it hasn't really got much taste at all. I wouldn't consider it astringent. Doesn't really seem to have any sweetness to it. Let's try the centre of the fruit. It's got I'd describe it as a stodgy texture, very much like a chocolate pudding would have, I suppose. I don't know if it's going to have any seeds in it or not. Possibly not. Now, of course, we don't know if this fruit, I'm going to try the other half. We don't know if this fruit was picked very underripe, and I don't know how well they ripen up if they are very underripe. Basically, it's very bland. It doesn't have any real flavour to it. The texture, I said, is quite okay. I wouldn't say it's particularly sweet. That's the problem I get with underripe persimmons in this country. Probably would be quite good I'm thinking it would be good if you mixed it with milk and did a bit of a fruit smoothie. It'd probably make a good ice cream, but it really isn't very, yeah, it's just like looking at a chocolate pudding, the texture is. But, obviously it doesn't taste like chocolate pudding, but this particular fruit has got no real sweetness or no taste to it. It's not, I mean, obviously it's not got an unpleasant taste because it hasn't got any taste at all. I haven't had it in the fridge, I've had it in my fruit bowl, which still means it's quite chilled because obviously the house isn't particularly warm during the day. But I mean, I wouldn't go out and rush out and buy one. No, they're very expensive over here. I mean, obviously Thomas sent me this one for free. But when they, on the odd occasion they have them at My Exotic Fruits, there's something like £20. So I think if I pay £20 for this, I'll be very, very disappointed. It doesn't have any seeds in it. I did wonder if it might have some seeds in, but it hasn't got any at all. But it's very, very interesting. But I've heard people get very excited over them, but I've got a feeling that like most tropical fruits we get in a colder climate, a lot of them can be very disappointing. Let's be honest. Occasionally I have really nice mangoes here, but on the whole I would say most mangoes are not that good here. They tend to be either underripe or overripe, so they're either bruised inside or they're rock hard like bullets with very little sweetness. Certainly makes for an interesting mouth colour this, because it's very, very chocolatey. I should be going to give my teeth a good clean before anything else, but yeah, it's interesting to eat it. Kind of disappointed there's no seeds in it, because it would have been fun to perhaps try and germinate a seed, but they're normally in the centre of the fruit. I mean, this definitely hasn't got any. I might try the flesh with a little bit of milk later and do a little milkshake with it, because I think that would make it more interesting. So anyway, that is the famous or infamous chocolate pudding fruit, or black sapote. I must admit it doesn't compare with the white sapotes I've tasted. They're absolutely lovely, but of course white sapote is actually might be a Spanish or Portuguese based word. I think sapote actually means soft, so it applies to a lot of soft fruits. When you hear green sapote, white sapote, black sapote, Chico sapote, it's not because they're all the same species or variety. They're not all from the sapote family. The sapote actually means apparently soft fruit. So this is a black soft fruit, or very dark chocolate brown colour, and obviously a white sapote has got soft white flesh. But the white sapote, which is, sorry, Casimiro, I do this, I'm just kicking the camera stand there. I've tasted white sapote a couple of times and they've been very, very pleasant, so I'm hoping obviously one day to be able to get some decent sized white sapote fruits of my own if I keep my plants healthy. But it'd still be fun to try and grow black sapote, because as I said, I think the plant is quite amenable and not one of the hardest tropicals to keep alive. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Please remember to share the video if you think anyone will be interested in trying one of those fruits here in the UK. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and remember you've got to click on the bell if you want to know when new videos come out. I'll see you all soon. Brett out for now.